Hello, everyone. We'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, it's the bottom of the hour, so I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining today for Courageous Hearts. It's day 2. And today we're talking about being rooted rooted in courage. So welcome back, and I'm so glad you're here for day 2. Yesterday, we started out by honoring your story. You did something brave just by showing up and reflecting on what has happened to you and shaped you into the woman you are today. I want to ask, did you download the supplemental workbook? I will post it here in the comments in case you haven't yet. It's also in the meeting invite in the Thrive group, but I also put it right here in the comments. So you should be able to, well, that's not a link. Sorry about that. Let me get the link for you. Oh, it says it's posting. So maybe it's just taking time. Okay, I'll go ahead and get going. But the worksheet, I'll make sure it's posted here. If you haven't downloaded it yet, please do. There's lots of information in there for you to reflect on, yourselves and what you're learning, because that's what this is for. So when you complete your action items from the worksheet and everything we talk about, make a comment under the daily video each day. So for day 1, note that you completed your action items. I will have gifts on Monday. And my plan is that for all those of you who have watched all the videos and completed your action items, I will have gifts to mail out to you. And I'm very excited about that. So today we'll discuss something that often gets unnoticed, and that's your courage and persistence. They go hand in hand, and I'll talk about that. Okay, I'm going to put that link for you all because I don't think it happened. 1 second. All right, that link should be there for you. My name is Terri Sterk, and if I haven't met you before, I'm happy that you're here. I'm thrilled to be with you today. I've encountered numerous instances where courage and persistence were pivotal in my healing journey. And without it, I don't know if I could have gotten this far. But but I did get to a place where, I didn't feel triggered anymore. And that's because I had spent time healing. If you're like me, there are days when you feel emotionally weary and inept, even cynical. These are all characteristics of burnout, especially when we're going through a difficult time or season. And with breast cancer treatments, it is a season. It can be a you know, long time, years for some of us. So maybe you've pushed yourself repeatedly to get through every challenge, one after another, and you're just tired. And I understand because I've been there. I know what that's like. But sometimes courage isn't about making bold, loud moves. Even if you feel like you didn't roar today, remember that simply deciding to get out of bed and try again tomorrow is a triumph. So if you're making an effort, you should be proud of yourself because each step is a move forward. Even if you don't feel brave, I promise you, you are brave. Courage doesn't always look like grand gestures or, heroic acts. Sometimes it's a quiet choice just to keep going. Let's talk about defining or redefining courage. Many of us think of courage as something that is reserved, you know, for soldiers or activists or people risking their lives, first responders. Those are definitely courageous people. But courage has many faces. Courage can be defined as the ability to confront fear, danger, uncertainty, intimidation. It's that inner strength that pushes us to take action despite our fears or any other feelings that we're having. Courage is essential because it allows us to step out of our comfort zone and take the risk necessary for growth. For instance, think about your journey, through illness or grief or loss or some other heartbreak you've had in your life. Despite the dangers you faced, your story is a testament to the power of courage. Courage comes in various forms. Physical courage is bravery in the face of a physical pain or a hardship. Then there's moral courage that involves standing up for what's right, even if it's unpopular. And then there's emotional courage, and it's about being open and vulnerable. Each type of courage is crucial in different aspects of our lives, and we'll all go through all of them at some point. We probably have gone through all three. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes the courage is just a little voice at the end of the day that says, I'll try again tomorrow. It's a moment you tell the truth, even when your voice shakes. It's getting out of bed when your heart is heavy. It's asking for help when your pride says, don't you dare. But sometimes we have to shut down that ego and ask for help, and that does take courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite the fear. True courage is a mindset. It often lies in persistence, in trying again tomorrow and trying again the day after tomorrow. Persistence is the key to developing courage. Persistence is the determination to do something despite difficulty or a delay in achieving success. It's It's doing something despite uncertainty or unknowns. It's the driving force that keeps us moving forward, no matter how tough things get. Persistence is what turns dreams into reality. It's not about never failing, it's about never giving up. Persistence is supported by traits such as resilience, determination, and patience. Resilience helps us bounce back from setbacks. Determination drives us to keep going. And patience allows us to endure the time that's necessary to see results. So when we want things just to be over and things to be back to normal, courage and persistence are needed. They are interlinked. Courage gives you the strength to start a challenging task, and persistence ensures you to see it through to the end. We need both of those to get through challenges. And I'm sure you've used both of them during your challenge. You just maybe didn't think about it quite the way I'm describing it. But it truly happened to you. And you'll need it in the future. Absolutely. And that's really what we're talking about today is how can I have a mindset that I control? Meaning, can I be courageous and persistent intentionally? And I want you to remember that you have already survived things you once thought that would break you. That's living proof that you have courage. Now, I'd like to invite you into a short reflection. So close your eyes and get comfortable, or just take your close your eyelids slightly and just look down. But at this point, I just want to help you reflect. So ask yourself, when was the time I did something hard, something difficult, even though I was scared and uncertain? Think about that a minute. Now that you have that thought, think about what helped you to take that step. What helped push you forward, even though you were scared or fearful? Now reflect on, how did it feel afterward? Did you feel differently? Did you feel like, that wasn't as bad as I thought? Or did you still feel anxious? Let's take a breath and pause for a moment while you reflect. Now, when you're ready, just open your eyes. I encourage you, each of you, to reflect on your own experiences. Identify the moments where you've shown courage and persistence, and consider how you can cultivate these traits further in your life of wellness. Now, grab your journal or piece of paper or the worksheet either one, just something that you can write on. On day two, on the day two page of the worksheets, you'll see my acts of courage. This task is for you to list 5 times you showed courage. And I'm sure there are more than 5, given what we've all been through. Now, these don't have to be dramatic things. If you reached out for support, just making that phone call is courage. Or when you spoke up to your doctor to advocate for yourself, that's courage. Or the fact that you simply kept going even though you felt like you couldn't. That counts as courage too. So let's take a few minutes to fill out the table on day 2. We'll take 4 or 5 minutes for you to go through this thought process. But what I'm asking you to do is just list out 5 times you showed courage. It doesn't have to be during your cancer journey. It could be anything. We all have lots of time when we've had to have courage to get through a day. Okay, we'll continue on. If you didn't finish, you can finish after at the end. Would you like to share an example of courage? This is a safe place. You don't have to share details, but just a sentence or two about what you noticed or what came up for you. If you could put that in the comments if you'd like, it will be inspiring to other women who are here. We're all at different places in our journeys. So sharing can be very helpful. When we share our stories of courage, we remind each other that we're not alone because many of us have gone through the same things. Our situations are all different and unique, but we've all dealt with similar things. So it's comforting to know that we're not alone. You never know who needs to hear your words. So I'm glad you're here. Next, I'd like to talk about using courage as a daily practice. And the reason I say that is courage isn't a one time event, it's an ongoing practice that we cultivate over time. Many people often think, I'll be courageous when I feel ready. But you all know that that can't always be true. Things happen to us just out of left field and we're never ready for any of it. But we have to have courage to get through it. The truth is that sense of readiness rarely comes first. It's through the act of stepping up and facing the challenges as they come. That's when we begin to build genuine confidence in ourselves. And courage helps us to continue on. Small acts of courage can significantly enhance your self trust and help you prepare for the future or navigate the difficulties that life will bring. For example, these are some simple things you can do each day, which will make you ready for the big things when they come along. But saying no when something doesn't feel right, this is about recognizing your boundaries and protecting your well being. It takes courage to stand firm in your convictions, especially when others may not understand or agree with your decision. So, saying no, don't be afraid to say no. It takes courage sometimes, but when something just doesn't feel right to you, you can feel it in your heart. you know it's not right. That's okay. Say no. Another one is saying yes to something that excites you, even if it's scary. Embracing new opportunities can be daunting, even though they can also be fun. Yet it can also lead to increased wellness or personal growth or a new experience. Each time you say yes to something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, then you're able to expand your horizons and increase your courage. Learn to embrace uncertainty. Sometimes it's just a new social event that you've not done before, and maybe you're just feeling like you're not ready for that. I can tell you a story when it's in my book to Thrive After Breast Cancer, but it happened to me. I was dealing, after chemo. I'd been out of chemo a few days. My neighbor called. She had been diligent about checking in on me every so often. But she called and asked if I wanted to attend an event with her. It was a women's event at her church. And I really wanted to go because I enjoy spending time with my neighbor. But I also was hesitant. I worried about what women would think of me that didn't know me. I was in the middle of cancer. I was a cancer patient. So I didn't have hair. I didn't have energy. All the things that we all know about and worry about. But I went out of my comfort zone. I went to the event. And I remember walking in thinking, people are staring at me. I must look funny. I must look different. I put on a wig because I didn't want to talk about cancer. I wanted to go and not be the center of attention. But I remember sitting at the table with 8 women, only knowing one of them, and that was my neighbor. They were all so kind, and we had a really good time listening to the speakers, sharing stories. But my cancer journey was not one of them. No one asked. They may have all known because my neighbor may have told them, but I don't know. I did feel normal that day, and it took courage for me to go to an event that had nothing to do with me or my cancer. But that's saying yes to something that excites you, even when it scares you. Another thing you can do is to admit that you don't have all the answers. We often do this as moms when our kids ask us questions. But acknowledging that you aren't perfect and you don't know everything is a sign of strength. But just trying to throw an answer out when you really don't know what you're talking about can be daunting. It opens the door for collaboration, learning, and growth, allowing you to seek help and insights from others. Courage is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each small act of bravery contributes to a great reservoir of strength and resilience. Over time, you'll find that you're able to face larger challenges with more confidence and less fear, but you'll have grace in the midst of it. Embracing this journey of courage not only transforms you, it transforms your perspective, but it also empowers you to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to confront it. The more you use courage, the stronger you become. Here's a courage mantra for you. I'd like to invite you to create a mantra of your own, a phrase you can repeat when fear arises. These are some examples. You can pick one of them or you can come up with your own. I will put these in the comments as well. They are, I am braver than I realize. Courage lives in me. The third is, I can do hard things. Another one is, I'm willing to do hard things. Here's three that might help you if you don't have your own. But a part of the action items is they're in the comments now. But these are some examples, and you can choose one of those or come up with your own, and that's a part of your action items as well. So take a moment and write down the one that feels true for you. Once you have it, read it quietly to yourself. Read it to yourself several times. Make sure it resonates with you. If it doesn't, then pick another one. Today, you've honored your courage. That's no small feat. Before we finish, I'll summarize your action items for today. So complete your courage inventory if you did finish it earlier. That's in your workbook. Choose one small act of courage to practice this week. And write your mantra on a sticky note or somewhere visible. Remember, you don't have to wait until you feel fearless. Just take the next brave step. Tomorrow we'll explore strength in stillness. And that's about learning to find calm in the midst of chaos or when things are noisy and your head just won't stop. So thanks for showing up today with your open heart. You are more courageous than you know. As always, I'm cheering you on. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 3.